Now I do wonder if that thing is still going to do the announcement automatically, and apparently it is going to. Okay, there you go, that's how it was. I also wonder, as often I do, just how bad my audio levels are. Because the constant flashing of the red all over the audio level bar and the OBS audio level thing for my microphone leads me to believe it's kind of bad. But of course I have no way of, well, I mean I could just do this, hold on. But of course I have no way of, well, I mean I could just do this, hold on. Alright, it sounds fine. I think OBS is exaggerating. I'm just going to ignore it from here on out. Audacity, don't be alive, thank you. But yeah. Have you heard of the festival of the Mithric cult from the times of ancient Rome? It happened around this time of year. But then some other guy from the Middle East came and took all the publicity. I know people think that these dates are more closely related to him for some reason, even though I'm pretty sure that's not quite accurate. On a completely unrelated note, I guess, it was my birthday a week ago, so there's that. Even though it's been phenomenally quiet on my end for quite a while, just because I've been trying to force my brain to snap out of the just fucking sleep all day, every day mentality, but I didn't manage to do it in time, so that it wasn't still in that mentality yesterday, so yeah. Passing out at the dinner table is cool. But hey, at least it seems that I'm not in immediate danger of passing out now, so I'd say that's a good sign. And hey, you know, on a positive note, about 20 minutes ago I discovered that the old tried and true method of taking about 15 sips of water without stopping to breathe is as effective as ever when it comes to stopping hiccups, so that's nice. Anyway, we're gonna play a game now. Maybe. I actually have no idea exactly how this is gonna work, but I don't know if the game knows either. Actually, I should do a few things. One of which is stopping the music, hold on, and another one of which it would be to go over here so I can actually... Okay, there it goes, there that goes, and then next we'll be trying to figure out exactly how I'm gonna be doing this. Alright, let's see here. Yeah, I get the feeling, hold on, I have a theory as to how I can make this work. Let's see if it's actually a good theory or not. Okay, I think it might be a good theory, but I'm gonna have to close this first. Yes, time to skedaddle already, even though you can't see that. Now this time, instead of running the thing directly, I'm gonna run this. And there it is, right, just run in a window instead of full screen, thank you very much. What else? Resolution doesn't let me change it, so this is gotta be interesting. No graphics filter, well, cyber is fine. I mean, it'll probably, sure, smooth scale sprites. Actually, no, just leave that off since it's off by default. Let's go for the authentic look. Use speech pack if available, yes. Alright, let's save and run. And now the game window is gonna be tiny, yes. Because it doesn't immediately jump to full screen, but it also means that I can now capture that.
Nice.
Without, what do you call it? Without everything stopping, I say, but apparently it stops regardless. Just as long as I am, what do you call it? As I am on, I don't have the window focused, which, speaking of, do I need to do that to get that to capture? Yes, I do. Alright. Oh boy, it's Noggin Clonith. Where do I get the feeling that, that this here thing, which I can see what it is by mousing over it without having to click on it, thanks to this extension that I have. And which, consequently, I will not be clicking on. May or may not be who they appear to be. Just based on the fact that they're calling me by a name that they wouldn't know otherwise. Anyway, let's see. Merry Chrimbus, everyone. I'm actually gonna have to make this window much larger because it's gonna be more comfortable for me to just play over here. Playing on the actual window, because the actual window is tiny, so this is way blown up. In order to, well, the way it shows up on the actual stream is way larger than the actual window is, but I know this is a game called The Golden Wake. It's made by a man called Francisco Gonzalez, who you may or may not know if you've been around for the 4 years that I've been streaming on various places. As the creator of a different series of adventure games called the Ben Jordan games. But this is the first game that he made with full intention of selling for money. And I bought it for money, so I guess his mission is complete. I'm gonna see how wise of a decision that was. It's in 1920s Miami. Features some historical characters, but it should not be taken as an accurate representation of historical fact. So basically, don't put this into the classroom in a hurry, I guess. Meanwhile, in New York City.
Well, Alfie, old boy, looks like it's another day, another dollar.
Actually, let me go ahead and raise the volume of the audio thing a little bit. Probably a good idea for this one. Left click to interact with objects.
Read all about it. Newspapers, 5 cents.
And right click to look at objects, such as this newsboy, that's an object. Usually stands around during the day selling papers and is good for a quick chat now and then. And the sign, Morrison Banks Real Estate Sales, established 1886. Wow, a mere 40-ish years ago. Belated birthday. Thank you for streaming today. Well, you're welcome, I guess, Ruby Aurelian, and thank you for the happy belated birthday. I don't know why there's so much snow. I guess for the same reason why there's gnomes. Company co-founded by your father and your employer for the past 10 years, so okay. So I guess the voice that speaks in the in these info boxes is not this guy's voice who you're playing as. Alright, let's see. You can save, quit, load, and look at the settings, which I already looked at, and I'm pretty sure it's just yeah, this stuff. You can turn off the voice or the subtitles if you want, so I don't know why you would, and you can look at the achievements, which I can't imagine why you would not. But of course, I have no idea what any of these are right now. So not much of a point, because I haven't played this game at all, so for the same reason I won't be turning on designer commentary right now. But yeah, I think I've exhausted the amount of things I can look at here. Mailbox. Waiting to receive letters to be mailed. Can Gonna steal from the mailbox.
Murderer uses telephone to lure victim. Get your newspapers here. Only 5 cents.
Apparently not. Okay, so there's a few objects that are not quite as evident as I thought they would first be, but apparently they don't really do much. They're just there. Since they're on the other side of the road, can we go there? No, we cannot. We're too scared to cross the road, I guess. Found you from being hosted on the midnight.
Papers here. 5 cents per copy.
Interesting. Though I usually do host the midnights as don't have a lot of opportunities to drop in.
Murderer uses telephone to lure victim. Get your newspapers here. Only 5 cents.
But I do like
Good morning, Mr. Banks.
what I have caught.
Good morning, Lyle.
Alrighty then. Cold. What is this invention?
Aren't you cold standing out here in this weather?
A little, but I have to work. Otherwise, I'll be cold and hungry.
Alright.
So, what's the news of the day?
I could tell you all of it, but then I wouldn't make any money, would I? If you want the news, buy yourself a paper. They're only a nickel.
You're a
Can we-
shrewd businessman, Lyle. You ever thought about going into real estate?
No, sir.
Have a good day, Lyle.
You too, Mr. Banks.
I don't talk to people who don't want to sell real estate. Also, I guess maybe we can't actually... I'm guessing that this space up here on the left is our inventory, so I guess we're not going to be buying a newspaper.
Riots in Vienna. Read all about it. Newspapers, 5 cents.
I guess we live right next to where we work. Let's see what's going on in Morrison
fellas.
Banks.
What's the good word?
Good morning, Banks.
Morning, Banks.
Horse feathers. Why is it so hot in here?
Horse
Morris
feathers.
apparently has a chill. He set the heating on as high as it goes this morning. Suggs and I had to prop the door open so we didn't sweat to death.
We must be raking in a fair amount this month if he can afford to do that.
I sure wish that kid outside would pipe down.
I know what you mean, Larry. He's giving me a headache.
Yeah, I saw this Sphinx game, but let's see. I wonder what the first puzzle of the game will be. There's no hat rack in the office, so we just plop it on the desk. We just kind of do a mic drop with the hat. We just kind of hold it slightly above the desk and then just open our hand based on that animation. It's the place where we work our magic from. And the door to Morris's office. Pin up to be placed on the office wall. Alright. Even test if we touch it, even though apparently we're the one who had it put up there in the first place. Number of monthly sales made by each of the employees. We're currently in the lead with 27. Okay. Doesn't look like there's a lot of employees either, so... Can we take a break? We just came in, it's very exhausting. Okay, yes we can. Spare light bulbs, assignment board. Alrighty then. Someday we'll earn enough to take a vacation in Paris. Or we can just pretend, I mean. Something tells me that it might not really be worth it, depending on how badly you want to go. If money is in fact an object. And the water cooler, which looks like a drum. Can we get some water, maybe? Alright then. Let's get another glass of water, I suppose. It's very, very exhausting and dehydrating to stand around for several minutes in the snow, I would imagine. I've had enough water for... Okay, so it does stop you eventually, before anything else happens. Can we tamper with any of this stuff? Yesterday's assignment poster, we have no need for a light bulb presently, but will that stay the case for long? That is the real question. Alrighty. So what do these people have to say, Suggs and Murphy? 15 years, incredibly straight-laced to the point where we can't recall ever having seen him smile. Suggs has been working for the past 6 years. Something about his demeanor always rubbed you the wrong way. Let's talk to him first, clearly.
Suggs.
Yeah, Banks?
How are you today, Suggs?
I can't really complain. Well, I mean, I could complain, but who would listen?
How are your sales going this week?
And not so great. I had a sweet old lady yesterday who was this close to buying an apartment for her cat.
I'm sure things will pick up.
And I'm sure you'd know, being Morris's right hand and all.
Now, Suggs, that's hardly fair. You know we're all equal in here.
You're right. Forget I said anything.
I'll just let you get back to it.
Thanks.
Yeah, thanks. I don't... Clearly not establishing any kind of a pent-up resentment or anything.
Got a minute, Murphy?
Sure, but I'm still on the clock.
Well, let's make that minute count.
Everything going all right with you, Murphy?
Yep, everything's copacetic.
Alright.
Sales going okay for you?
Could be a lot worse. Could be a lot better, too. You ever going to share your good fortune with us, Banks?
What do you mean?
You always seem to manage to get the best leads. That's pretty lucky, don't you think?
I'm not sure I like what you're implying, Murphy.
Not implying, just observing. Anyway, let's drop it.
I'll let you get back to work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, Banks, Morris wanted to see you. Said it was important.
Thanks for letting me know when I walked in, Suggs.
Hey, it's been a busy morning. It must have slipped my mind.
Thanks for reminding me after going in the break room and refueling my water tank for a while. Right. Guess we're not gonna be doing
Good
any
morning,
work
Evan.
at our desk yet.
Suggs said you wanted to see me?
Have a seat, Alfie.
Oh boy.
This doesn't seem like a conversation that's going to be pleasant.
I'm afraid it isn't. You know I'm not the type to beat around the bush, so here's the long and the short of it. We're not doing well. Sales are minimal and the competition is popping up all over town like a bad rash. I hate to do it, but we're going to have to let someone go.
I see. Who did you have in mind?
That's mainly why I asked to see you, Alfie. You have more contact with Suggs and Murphy, so I think this decision should be yours.
Well, I'm kind of on the spot here, but...
Oh boy. Well, I don't know. Based on how very little we know so far. And kind of what the more... I don't know, the thing the game expects us to do would be. So I guess we'll go for that first.
I think Suggs should be the one let go. His sales have been the lowest consistently for the past 3 months.
Very well, if that's what you think, then I trust your judgment. Thank you for your help, Alfie. It's always appreciated.
Anything else you need?
Not at the moment. Go ahead and check the assignment board in the break room for today's leads.
Will do.
Alright then. We can also look at Morris. Evan Morris. Along with our late father Hiram. Apparently he's our real estate vendor. Poster from last year's Olympic Games, which would be 1919, 1920. Classic literature. Just keep that in the office. Can we steal any of them? Can we talk to him again, maybe? Hold on. Names and phone numbers of potential clients interested in expensive properties. And the window. Oh.
Get to it, Alfie. Time is money, after all.
I guess he doesn't want to talk to us anymore. Well, apparently they're gone, so I guess we don't have to break the news to them yet. Maybe they're in the break room. Oh no, there they are.
Because my sales were too low. But how am I supposed to make sales if I don't get any decent leads?
I hear you. It hasn't been very easy for me either.
And just because Golden Boy gets all the good leads, it doesn't mean...
Shut your trap. Somebody's coming.
Oh boy.
Gentlemen.
Hello, Banks. Your meeting with Morris go well?
I would say so, yes.
Great to hear. Well, Murphy and I better get back to work.
Yeah, about that. Too bad. I guess we're not gonna say anything yet. Especially since you didn't get a lot of information about them except that brief introduction, yeah. Well, I don't know how much that choice is gonna affect the rest of this, but... I'm guessing it will somehow, so... Already I'm kind of intrigued. Scan the sheet of leads correspondent to you, making a mental note of the names and phone numbers. Alright, another day at work. I guess we get to work by actually going to the workplace this time. I don't know.
Time
we
to
got?
make some magic. Operator, connect me to the Stamford residence in Bensonhurst, if you would, please. Hello, is this Ms. Irene Stamford? Yes, hello. This is Alfred Banks calling from Morrison Banks. I just wanted to follow up on the deposit you put down in the apartment in Flatbush. No, thank you very much, Mr. Contis. A pleasure doing business with you.
Oh man.
5 sales in 30 minutes. I think that might be a new record.
Alfie, can you come here a moment?
What is it, Evan?
I'm running late for the weekly shareholders meeting. Could you lock up my office for me?
Of course.
Here's the key. I'll be back shortly.
What on earth was that?
Oh man.
That sounds like Murphy took a spill in there.
Alright, I guess now we're in control. So I have the key, I suppose. Hold on. We got the office key, we close the door, I guess. We lock up Marcy's office first. Of all, I suppose. Something's wrong in the break room. I thought something had come, that sound had come from outside, but I guess not.
Give me a shout if you need any help in there.
Oh boy.
Murphy, what's going on?
Just being a damn clumsy fool. Don't worry about me. I was trying to change the light bulb and I lost my balance.
Here, let me help you clean up.
Thanks for the help, Banks. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to work.
That was a bit odd.
Well, I mean, if you buy the thing he said, then maybe. We don't feel the need to move the chair from its current position, even though it's in the middle of the room right now. That was a bit odd. And we can't do anything with the light bulbs either. Because now we know the follow-up to why the box of light bulbs is there, though. Let's have some more water. Sure, that was an exhausting exchange back there. No need to be unprepared for stress. Alright then. Do we get any more dialogue as soon as we leave, or... Now what we do, go right back at our desk, I guess.
Hey, Banks, I had a question about this client.
I'm back, Alfie. Got my key?
Yes, Evan, it's right. Odd. I thought I'd put it in my other pocket. Anyway, here you are.
Boy.
Alfie,
Yes?
where are tomorrow's leads?
I beg your pardon?
The leads for tomorrow? The ones that were on my desk? They're no longer on my desk. Where have they gone?
I have no idea. I haven't been in your office since this morning.
You know I trust you 100%, Alfie, but this is a very serious matter.
I'm aware of it. Look, I'll get Suggs and Murphy together and we'll look for them.
Or maybe we could just skip the drama if you look under Banks's hat, sir.
What?
We both saw you, Banks. There's no need to put on a charade.
Coming clean will save us all a lot of embarrassment.
Is what they're saying true, Alfie?
What? No, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Then you won't mind me looking under your hat? Just to be sure you understand.
See for yourself.
Oh boy.
Alfie, really?
Oh boy, also. Guess pressing my hotkey to toggle the mute on my mic also skips dialogue, so I'm gonna have to be wary of that. Well, yeah, looks like we were kind of set up. I do wonder.
Evan, please, you know me. Would I be capable of doing this?
I honestly don't know what to think, Alfie. You have to admit, this doesn't look good.
Well, there has to be a logical explanation, but I can tell you I didn't do this.
Alfie, look at it from my perspective. The leads were in my office when I left and gone when I came back. You were the only one with the key, and now they show up under your hat. What would you do in my shoes?
So does this mean I've been canned?
I hate to do this, Alfie. You know your father and I were great friends, and you've been an asset to this company. But for now, I think you should take an indefinite leave of absence.
Fine. I see how it is.
I mean, technically, they haven't terminated
guess
my
I'll see you
contract,
fellas
and maybe.
Hey, no hard feelings, Banks. Here you go. See? They ain't even wooden.
Alright, I can see where that came
Taking an
from.
early lunch, Mr. Banks?
Lloyd.
No, Sure. Just taking an early lunch.
Well, if you need anything to read while you eat, I still got plenty of papers left.
Try to guess now that we've gained a nickel.
Riots in Vienna. Read all about it. Newspapers, 5 cents.
Can actually get the newspaper after all.
Don't suppose the news of the day can be any worse than the morning I've had. Let me have a paper, please.
That'll be a nickel.
Thanks, Lau.
So what do we got?
Murder, extortion, robbery. Par for the course in this city. What's this? Merrick making waves in Florida?
Very promising land boom in the Miami area, especially with regard to a development known as Coral Gables, which I believe is a real thing. George E. Merrick is currently hiring a team of real estate salesmen to assist this monumental undertaking. Wouldn't you know
Miami,
it?
eh? I've always heard that place was nothing more than glorified swampland. But I'll be damned if I'm just gonna roll over and freeze to death up here. When I'm finished down there, the name Banks will finally mean something again. So, Mr. Merrick, let's just see what you've got to offer.
Alrighty. We're very, very swift at making decisions, it seems. Florida, the treasure land. Still winter 1921, but you'll notice that the further south you go.
Hello, Miami. Alfie Banks. Huzzah! Oh, horse feathers. This humidity is something else. Right. I've got my luggage claim ticket. Now I just need to find this Hotel Belmont and...
Hey there! Hello!
Are you speaking to me, sir?
You see anybody else around, son? Come on over here and have a chat with old Doc Dammers, why don't you?
Alright, what have we got to lose except... Except the opportunity to look around at what else is here, of course. Florida land boom. Managed to preserve a sense of excitement at the prospect of working in this exciting young city. Train didn't appear to be crowded enough to merit so much cargo, but perhaps the other passengers put more than we did, right?
Time is money, boy, and you're putting me in the red.
Well, I'm looking around, you know. It's a staple of adventure games. His demeanor is that of a man 20 years his junior. I guess we're guessing his age. Although has been painted a garish red and has a very visible advertisement for the real estate services of Doc Dammers, alright. Well, what do we have to lose, clearly?
May I help you with something?
Pardon me for saying so, my boy, but I believe I'm the one who can offer you the help.
I'm really not interested in buying anything, sir.
Of course you aren't. Did you think I just fell off the turnip truck? I can tell a fellow salesman a mile away. You're here to get a piece of the action, aren't you?
Yes, I suppose I am.
Then consider this your own little welcoming committee. What did you say your name was?
I didn't. It's Banks. Alfred Banks.
Well then, welcome to Miami, Alfred Banks. By your complexion, I'm guessing you come from up north.
Yes, New York, actually.
Hell of a town, but you'll find we do things a bit differently down here. If you got any questions, feel free to ask.
Alright, I guess I do now. Just fly for now, hearts and goggles, and hope to see you soon. Well, thanks for dropping in, Ruby, and hope to see you later as well. But let's see what we got. Coral Gables, what is this?
I'm interested in this Coral Gables development I've heard about.
Oh, straight to the top, eh? They call it Miami's master suburb. It's been meticulously planned and is ready to start construction at any moment. Lots are going faster than a Tin Lizzie downhill. If you want to get involved there, you're going to need to talk to the man in charge, George Merrick.
Yeah. Well, might be the whole reason we came down here to begin with, if I am... what do you call it? If I'm following the very complex plot so far correctly.
Where can I find George Merrick?
He's got a sales office downtown, right on Flagler Street. Look for the building made of coral rock next to the Stocks and Bonds office. You can't miss it. Of course, George is incredibly busy these days and doesn't talk to just anyone.
Maybe not, but he'll talk to me.
I like your spirit, kid. You'll get places thinking like that.
You'll get places by acting entitled, I guess.
What's the current market like down here? I've heard quite a few things back in New York.
People are buying left and right. It's a great time to be in real estate. Plenty of dough to be made. Every day, more and more locals and tourists come looking for their own spot of land, and we're here to sell. Mark my words, Banks, we're on the verge of something great.
And yourself, I suppose.
How long have you been in this business?
Probably longer than you've been alive, son. Before this opportunity opened up, I was selling lots on Miami Beach for Carl Fisher himself. Surely you saw his billboard in Times Square.
You mean it's June in Miami? Of course, everyone saw that. It's partly what inspired me to come down here.
Glad to hear it. That's a perfect example of good marketing and knowing your audience. Why do you think I'm out here by the train station? New arrivals are the easiest to sell to. There's a free piece of advice for you, Banks.
Try to stand a conversation manually instead of just doing it automatically like it has been up until now.
I appreciate the information, Mr. Dammers, but I'm afraid I must be going.
Of course, eager to get started, I understand. And believe me, there'll be plenty to do very soon.
It was a pleasure to have met you. Maybe I'll see you around town.
I can more or less guarantee that, my boy.
But first I'm gonna steal your painted wagon, or not. Or the luggage. We arranged for it to be delivered by our hotel, or to our hotel before we got off the train, alright, so... Does that mean that it will never see this, this porch? Well, let's go to the exit, which is at the corner, I suppose. And see how we move around Miami. I can go to Flagler Street, I guess we're not going back to the station. Smile Red Toothpaste. Unfortunately, I can't quite see what that says. Models vacant, stairgazing down upon you and your fellow pedestrians. Well, records office for the greater Miami area. And Hotel Belmont. Sounds very gothic. And what does that say? To West Flagler Street. Oh, wait, don't actually go there. I guess we can't stop him now, can we? I guess if you're interacting with one of the transition points, just trying to examine it is the same as trying to interact with it. Coral Gables, Miami's master suburb. See if you would see it if you would see Miami at its best. Oh boy. Stocks and Bonds office. Appears to be a Stocks and Bonds office. You briefly remember all the hubbub about war bonds a few years ago. Find yourself glad all that is over. Yeah. Thank goodness we're gonna be sitting pretty for the next 20 or so years, right? Anyway. Coral Gables sales office has established itself in this building. It appears to be constructed from some kind of porous stone, one you're familiar with. Porous stone. Wouldn't be adobe, would it? I'm not even sure if adobe qualifies as stone itself, but... Go to the sales office, the Stocks and Bonds office, but apparently we don't want to go in there, but we will go in the sales office, alright. Well, I guess this is where we came to inquire. Even though we wanted to stop at the hotel first. Can't see you envy her job. Soon to be constructed Alhambra entrance, alright. So I believe where most if not all the records for the budding Coral Gables development are being kept, and men. You wonder what it's gonna take to be in their shoes, I do wonder. Rather than speak to them, they're currently the competition, we just assume, alright. George E. Merrick, Director of Planning and Painting. Must be a proposed structure which has not yet been built. I guess there's a lot of those.
Pardon me, miss.
I'm terribly sorry, sir, but I'm just too busy for you right now. Perhaps you could come back another time?
Another time? I've just come all the way from New York. Surely there's something a lovely young lady like you can do to help out a man in need?
Look, Buster, I've heard it all before. Like I said, I haven't got time for you at this moment.
What seems to be the trouble?
Well, not that you'd care, but I need to get these letters written. And seeing as the weekly shipment of supplies has been delayed, I'm forced to do them by hand.
You seem very dedicated to your job. I can appreciate that.
I am, yes. Mainly because I want to keep it. Now, unless you want to come back here and pick up a pen, I really need to get back to my work.
A tempting offer, but I'll have to decline. I'll be back later.
Pick up a pen? Well, even if he did that, how would it be that, how would he know what to write? Because I would imagine that if you're writing letters for, like a business, you would have to use some pretty specific formatting. And I would imagine that it would take more time just to tell him how to do the letters.
Let me know if I
Then
can be of assistance.
it would save to have him actually do them. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe it would save energy, technically speaking, but nah. I'd be thinking too hard about this. H.M. Flagler. Need to read them. Never very tolerant of bureaucracy. Well, so we can go into the records office, but not into the bonds office. That's the only one that we don't like. Hey, it's a filing cabinet from the other room, I'm pretty sure. Get a feeling this is merely the tip of the iceberg. What would make you think that? And the records clerk, shifty looking man, but hopefully he's good at his job. Well, I'm not sure.
Excuse me.
What can I do for you?
What he could do for us right now, but
What sort of records do you keep in this office?
All kinds. Marriage licenses, death certificates, property titles, you name it.
How far back do they go?
Not too far back, 30 years or so. The city wasn't officially incorporated until 1896, but I have some records going back to 1891. You let me know if there's anything you need to look up.
a lot about the city itself. Clearly we know nothing about it.
Have you always lived in Miami?
Nah, I moved down here from Philly after the war. Nice place. Can't beat the climate, that's for sure.
Oh, I think you can beat it. You can beat it very, very hard with a stick, but it won't make it any better.
Could I look something up?
Of course. What do you need?
On second thought, nothing right now.
Alrighty then.
Thank you for your help.
Anytime.
I get a feeling we're gonna need to do that at some point, but clearly not right now. Right, off we go to our place.
Hello and welcome to the Hotel Belmont.
Be careful on the stairs, they're a real killer. The clerk sits at the desk looking quite bored. There's the keyboard, where all the room keys hang. Not too many rooms occupied currently, well. Chiaroscuro, but the subject matter is a bit odd having a hotel. Same billboard appears in it. Well, I guess they don't update those very, don't change those very frequently right here. We could go upstairs maybe, but we haven't checked in yet.
Excuse me.
How may I help you, sir?
Tell me about the city, clearly.
Is there anything you can tell an out-of-towner about this city?
Certainly. It's been growing at an alarming rate, especially in the past few years. There's no denying we're at the start of a land boom. I hear tell this new Coral Gables development is going to bring in thousands more people as well. At this pace, we could be the next Manhattan by 25.
Well, I don't know about that. You know, based on the, what we know in the present day, I don't know if the kind of people that they'll be bringing in are necessarily that good of a thing, but hey, who am I to judge?
I'd like to check in, please. My reservation was made under Banks, Alfred.
One moment, please. Yes, here you are. Your room will be the second door to your right when you get to the top of the stairs. Oh, someone was here earlier from the train station to deliver your luggage. It's been placed in your room. I'll just take that claim ticket off your hands for you.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem, sir. Please, let me know if I can assist you with anything else.
Thank you for your assistance, my good man.
Happy to help.
Alright, I guess we got a claim ticket at some point. We also have money, alright. A few bills. I guess we have an unspecified amount of money right now. We just warp upstairs when we click on that. There's a hat stand. How considerate. Right, let's leave our hat. Clearly we don't need it. Definitely way less crowded here than in New York, so we say right now. I mean, I think that might still be true today. Up your bed hangs a somewhat generic landscape featuring a mountain and a river against a green sky. Yeah, green sky, I don't know about that being too generic, but I don't know, maybe if you live in a swampy enough place and you just have these lime green skies, I don't know. Lamp will light the room when it gets dark, but not right now. Tall, somewhat naive-looking young man staring back at you. Sure is a snappy dresser, though. Oh. The dresser's not bad as far as decorations go, but it's empty. There's her suitcase and there's her bed. Somewhat Spartan, but looks comfortable enough. I mean, maybe it should be a little bit better if it's, paid accommodations. But I guess we have to get something from the suitcase. Not be much to write home about, but it's yours, and apparently it's the only thing that we brought with us, which kind of begs the question why we couldn't just, keep it with us on the train. Seems like a little overkill to have someone deliver this, and only this, to the hotel. Assuming that's actually all we brought. Well, I don't know, maybe it's larger or heavier than it appears, but I don't even know. Like I said, I might be looking a bit too far into this, but our late father so he can accompany us wherever we go, and best technique to warm people up to make a sale. Remember bits, break the ice, introduce yourself, tell the story, sell your pitch. Don't buy bits from Twitch, get them from ads. There you go. Don't tell Twitch I said that. And typewriter ribbon. Always carry an extra one just in case. That seems oddly specific, but we need that. Guess we'll also take the notes and the photo. Alrighty. And now that we've finished looting our own suitcase, let's be on our way. And what do you know, as you might have remembered, pretty sure we need that ribbon for one of the puzzles here, which I might know a little bit preemptively, because I did play a demo of this, which skipped over the little prologue scene that we had at the beginning of this and start you off getting off the train. But it's not very... doesn't really go much farther than this. So I'm reasonably certain I'll be able to pinpoint the moment at which the demo stopped, which is not quite yet, because I'm pretty sure it did include this puzzle. And there's a typewriter.
Pardon me, miss.
I'm terribly sorry, sir, but perhaps you could come
Another time.
Right,
Surely.
so-
What's
not and
you?
I am now unless
So the conversation there is exactly the same, I'm pretty sure. So we have a typewriter ribbon. Here's a present.
Pardon me, miss. Would this typewriter ribbon be of any use to you?
it certainly would. Mine wore out yesterday, and I ordered a replacement, but it hasn't come in yet. Thank you, sir. I greatly appreciate it. This will cut my work time by half at least.
My pleasure. Happy to help.
Alright then. So now that we've... Miss Rogers, now that we've helped her out.
Pardon me, miss.
What may I do for you, sir?
George Merrick.
I'd like to see Mr. George Merrick.
Take a number. Mr. Merrick is in very high demand. I'm afraid he's not currently seeing walk-ins.
And we didn't even think of, consider this at all or making an appointment before we came here.
Would it be possible to make an appointment to see Mr. Merrick?
Certainly. Let me see. Our next available appointment is... next April.
What? That's preposterous.
Mr. Merrick is a very busy man.
I think you've made that quite clear. Come now. I helped you out with your typewriter. Now you're just gonna hi-hat me? I don't know how things work down here, but where I'm from, one good turn usually deserves another.
Okay. Keep your shirt on. I'll level with you. I'm not going to be able to get you an appointment, but I can tell you that Mr. Merrick keeps an eye out for fresh talent. If you can manage to do something to impress him, he may see you without an appointment.
I see. What would you suggest?
Well, I'm not sure, but you might be able to get something done at today's land auction.
Well, let's let's take a break from that line of thinking for a second and talk about Coral Gables.
Have you got any pertinent information on the Coral Gables development?
None I'm allowed to divulge, sir.
Alright, I guess we're not going anywhere there, so let's actually hear about the land auction.
A land auction, you say? Where and when?
It's set to start this afternoon, around 2 o'clock. You'll find it at the corner of Granada Avenue and Coral Way.
Fantastic. I'll head over there right away.
Good luck.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I sure hope some convenient setup will occur over there that'll allow us to do something flashy. Here we are, land auction. Looks pretty,
Sold! You've made your husband a very happy man, miss.
looks like a pretty developed area.
Do I
Right.
hear any bids for the Madrid lots? You'd be a fool to let those slip away.
And stands apart from the crowd, it looks somewhat indecisive. Seems to be a small crowd of people separate from the main group. Look particularly undecided. Mixture of excitement and indecisiveness, and hey, there's Doc Dammers. How did he manage to achieve this position? We wonder. Horse-drawn wagon minus the horse is currently serving as the main stage for Doc Dammers' land auction.
Do I hear any bids for the Madrid lots? You'd be a fool to let those slip away.
We apparently have no reason to interact with anything other than and Doc Dammers himself, who I'm sure will see us immediately in this crowd. And what do you know?
Well, well. Fancy seeing you here.
Thanks. What brings you to my humble little land auction?
I'm trying to see Mr. Merrick, but it's proving a bit more difficult than I'd anticipated.
Don't say old Doc didn't warn you, son. Anyway, I'd love to chat, but I'm a bit tied up at the moment.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Actually, there is. See those two sets of stragglers over there, separate from the crowd? They're all about a hair's breadth away from buying, but I just can't get them to budge. Take your pick. If you can convince either set to buy some houses, I just might put in a good word for you back at the sales office. The fellow by himself there seems like he won't take too much effort to convince. If you want a real challenge, you might try the crowd of 5 there.
I'll see what I can do.
Attaboy. Oh, one more thing before you get started. I know you've got experience in this business, but I want to talk to you about seller intuition. From time to time, you might find yourself needing to persuade someone. You know as well as I do that that's all about finding a person's weakness and bending it to your whim. When you're talking to them, you can use seller intuition to your advantage. It'll give you a clearer read on people and let you figure out what you should play to in order to get them to see things your way. But enough yammering from me. Go and do what you have to do.
Seller intuition. Well, now might be a good time actually to make our first save of the game. We're gonna call it, I don't know. There we go.
Do I hear any bids for the Madrid lots?
What if we
You'd be
go
a
to
fool to let
the
those slip away.
indecisive man first? Apparently he's the easy route. Maybe we can
Pardon
do
me,
both.
sir. I wonder if I could have a moment of your time.
So let's see what we got
What can I do
here.
for you, Mac?
The name's Alfred Banks, and I think I'm the one that can do something for you. I hear you're in the market to buy a lot.
Oh,
It's
goodness.
true. I've heard plenty about this Coral Gables development, but I've got some reservations.
Let's have a chat then. I'm sure I can assuage all your concerns.
Okay. I have to admit, I'm not exactly the researching type. Fact is, I'm just going by what I've been told. I've noticed that they're not just selling houses, but also lots. What good is a patch of dirt to me anyway?
Well, if you've got money, let's see. Make a dialogue choice based on what you think will make them lean towards your argument. Pay special attention to their face. Oh boy, we got Noir. Mechanics. Weak fucking sister. Click the seller intuition button to perform a personality analysis. Alright, so that's a hint. Let's see, I don't know. Build whatever you want. DIY. Location is key or long-term investment. So basically don't do anything with the land and just wait for it to get right. That seems like the worst option here, I don't know. I guess the most obvious one would be appeal.
The advantage is, you can build whatever you like on the lot to suit your taste. You have complete freedom to build your dream home.
Yeah, but that means I'll have to spend extra money hiring workers, buying materials, pulling permits. I'm not dumb, you know. I just want the least amount of work necessary. And building a house is a heck of a lot of work. But aside from all that, people keep going on about Coral Gables. What's so great about this area?
I'm not even sure about that myself, but I guess he didn't quite like that. Which neighbors? Nice parties. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't like that. Everything is close by, you'll be comfortable, or low taxes. Well, I think based on what he said, I guess this is what he would like, maybe.
From what I've seen, you'll have everything at your doorstep. You won't need to travel very far to get what you need.
Well now, that's definitely an advantage. If there's one thing I despised about my home up north, it was having to walk everywhere in the cold. One thing I don't understand though, why is the land being sold at an auction? It seems a bit shady, to be honest.
Why indeed? Well, so far we've learned that this guy likes convenience, but not sure how we can use that to our advantage here. I guess that would be how, but pay whatever you want. More exciting than filling out paperwork. Excitement. Well, I guess we'll just pretend it's easy, even though I think all of these are debatable, but that's not what we're, that's not really up to us right now.
It's for the consideration of the buyer. To make things easier, we're trying to make these sales as stress-free and simple as possible.
And I certainly do appreciate that, don't get me wrong. Now be honest with me. All this seems a bit too good to be true. There has to be something that isn't right about all this.
I don't know. Yeah, that's the best thing to say. Everything will balance out in the end. Everything is absolutely perfect. I don't know, this guy seems like he just wants you to tell him, yeah, sure, it's fine.
Not at all. Everything is absolutely perfect.
Oh, what a load of horse feathers. Nothing is perfect. I know Merrick isn't building utopia.
So what do you say? Do we have a deal?
I think I'm going to have to say no. I'm just not fully convinced it's worth it.
Alright, I guess that didn't quite pan out. Gotta try again. Talking to him further is a waste of time. There might be another way to convince him, really. Hold on. Try to be another way to convince him.
100. Do I hear 100?
Hold on, what about these people over there? The smaller crowd. Oh boy, just the moment we've been waiting for. Oh hey, remember the notes that the fucking... the pin that the note gives you. Guess we're gonna break the ice first.
How about this heat? I've never experienced anything like it.
Seems to respond positively to you. Well,
Alfred Banks.
positively.
Name. Real estate is my game. You can call me Alfie if you like.
Nice job so far.
Let me tell you all the story of the time I sold a 2-story house to a man who had no legs.
Kill the crowd, alright. And now we go in for the kill, I guess.
Right then, folks. How about we make some sales?
Now it's our chance. Oh boy. So, each respective via a house. Clicking on each house will provide a description of its features. Each buyer's portrait will give a description of them or what they're looking for. Now, I'm pretty sure this isn't quite, if this was like the last thing you do, that takes actual effort in the demo. I do recall that this isn't quite, as intuitive as you would think, but let's see. Mr. Teal, a portly gentleman who is having a hard time dealing with the heat of the day. Well, to move down here for my health, I suppose I could do with some exercise, but the sun is brutal. Can't stay out in it too long. Some place where I can get fit indoors would be ideal, especially since I hate water. Okay, let's see. Small single-story home, very close proximity of a school, church and shops. The area is somewhat loud. 707 Escobar Avenue, large spacious single-story home, secluded area of town. Not particularly well lit at night. Malaga Avenue, small 2-story house, fairly busy street. Area reports little to no crime. Affordable quality. Well, 1510 Palmarejo Street features a large single-family home built on a 4-acre property ripe for additional development. House can be expanded or trees can be planted in the huge yard in Cordova Street. A small home made from coral rock found on the property. Converted into a swimming pool. Inspiring Weissmullers. Well, I don't know. Large single-family home. Spacious single-story home. I'm guessing either that one or this one so far. But let's see what the other stories are. Mr. Roberts says, the biggest draw of moving down here is finally being able to get away from the tiny apartment I had back home. You could hear the neighbors sneezing, so he doesn't like the loudness. So I'm guessing he's gonna want this one. Not many other houses around, large spaces, single-story homes secluded. I think he's gonna want that one. Let's see. Disgrace. Don't care what house I end up buying, really my main concern is being able to get involved with the community. Right, so I'm guessing she wants the one that's in the noisy area. Mr. Smith is a cheerful young man, but is rather shabbily dressed. So many options to consider. Just want to find someplace that suits me and my Lucy, which I'm guessing is a dog based on the animal hair thing. So the yard. I don't know. Let me see. What about Mr. Jones? Very jolly, seems incredibly active. Just came from a golf tournament. Tennis lesson. Nothing I love more than being outdoors in this weather. Well, so he wants to go outdoors. I don't know. I'm gonna say he wants that, and maybe it's his deal. Some place where I can get fit indoors. See, I'm not sure if that quite fits with this, but he says he hates water, so I don't think he's gonna want the one with the pool. So it's either that one or this one. Fairly busy street, little to no crime. Well, let me see. What if I try this?
A pleasure doing business with you folks. I hope you enjoy your new homes.
There's nothing you enjoy more than a satisfied customer, and to have 5 at once is even better, so I guess I managed.
Nice job over there, Banks. You got a real knack for this business. Now go get some rest, would you? You don't want to overwork yourself first day here, after all.
Alright. Logic King. I just got an achievement called that. Hold on.
So.
Does that mean I actually got it right? Solved the land auction puzzle without hints. I guess so. Alright.
Made your husband a very happy man,
Yeah,
miss.
though I had some pretty serious doubts about that. Alright then. I guess we did it. I guess we're gonna go ahead and be alright with that. And also make a different save whenever I have the chance. Guess I just wanna jump back in time and do it the other way. Try to convince the single guy again. But for now, I think we're just gonna keep going.
Mr. Banks, I have a message for you when you get a chance.
Can't just give it to you right now when I see you, I guess. I need you specifically to seek me
Excuse
out.
me. How may I help you, sir?
Messages.
You said you had a message for me.
Yes, sir. From George Merrick at the Coral Gables sales office. He's asked you to stop by at your earliest convenience.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Hey, what do you know? I guess we're going there right now. Since it's apparently just on the other side of the street. And here we are. Pretty sure this is the point at which the demo ended. You don't actually get to go in the office. I guess what?
Pardon me, miss.
What may I do for you, sir?
I got a message from Mr. Merrick asking me to see him.
Ah, yes, he's expecting you, Mr. Banks. Go ahead and knock on his door there.
I'll let you get back to your work.
Thank you, sir.
Alright, here we go.
Come in.
Good afternoon, Mr. Merrick. I'm Alfred Banks. You wanted to see me?
Ah, yes, of course, Mr. Banks. Please come in. Make yourself at home.
Yeah, please come in, even though I can actually look at you at first.
Please, have a seat.
Or now. I'm not gonna look at you until you have a seat. Merrick is lucky to be able to have a cozy little spot to take his mind off things. So we think. Oh, we could, okay, there's no hat on the rack. I guess we did bring the hat. Maybe we could have put it there. I don't see much of a point to having it on, though. Alrighty. Guess chair looks comfortable enough. Procedure qualifications. I guess we're gonna do this in order. I don't know if this affects anything, but I guess it might.
It really is a pleasure to finally meet you, Mr. Merrick. Like I said, my name is Alfred Banks, and
I know who you are, Mr. Banks. I was well aware of your father's work up north. It seems apparent that you are eagerly following in his footsteps. You've gotten my attention. Now let's see how serious you really are. I see great potential in you, but a good sales agent needs more than just talent. He needs ability and know-how.
I've got those in spades.
You're certainly confident, I'll give you that. In any case, I have a few small setbacks which I need to deal with, and I think they would serve as an excellent proving ground for you.
Proving ground?
Think of it as an extended job interview.
I'm all ears. What do you need?
I can give you more details as you need them, but currently I'm faced with 3 concerns. The first is a man living on a prime piece of land who is refusing to sell. The second is my need for quality advertising. And the third is getting back some stolen design plans.
Well, the first 2 seem fairly mundane compared to the third, so I guess we're gonna ask about that one first.
What about your design plans?
I regret to say that a set of design plans was stolen from my office a few weeks ago by a man claiming to want a job interview. In reality, he was a spy, sent from my competitor Orrin Riley's real estate company. Riley still has my plans, but 2 can play his game. Since you're a fresh face in town, I need you to infiltrate his company and take back the plans. I'll have my secretary set up an interview for you later today. And here, take this set of dummy plans and leave it in place of the real ones so Riley doesn't get suspicious.
Infiltrate his company? What will that entail exactly?
My guess is that Riley will have the plans stored away in his office someplace. You may need to do a bit of searching. Are you comfortable with that? I know it's asking for quite a bit.
I think so, sir. I'll do as much as I can within legal means.
Of course. I'm not asking you to commit any crimes. After all, you're just taking back something that was already stolen. Think of it as a repossession.
Yeah, but what the legality of that thing? I mean, if you know that your plans were stolen to begin with, can you just, I don't know, get the police involved? That seems awfully weird that you would consider someone actually coming in and stealing your shit and then leaving to bring it to somebody else to not be something that you would bring to the police, but I don't know. I don't know how fucking corporate society works, man.
What's the story with the holdout?
There's a stretch of land which is of great interest to me in the area of Anastasia Avenue. Currently, the land is owned by an individual who has no interest in selling it. He's built himself a home there and understandably wants to keep it. Unfortunately, business is business, and I need that land to complete a very important project. I need you to convince the gentleman to sell.
I don't know, that seems awfully aggressive, but...
What about your need for publicity?
Any project, no matter how good it is doomed to fail if nobody knows about it. I've managed to secure some decent advertising, but I feel we need something more. The story of Coral Gables needs to make headlines. I'd like you to head over to the Miami Herald building and see if you can befriend a reporter or 2. Having a journalist in our corner would do wonders for our advertising.
I guess that's it.
I'll just get to it then.
I wish you the best of luck, although you seem the type who makes his own luck. I have a feeling I can expect great things from you.
Yeah, we'll just be the betrayer of the assassins, I guess. Where's Charles Lee, I wonder? Just something that popped out of my head. Let's see. Is the secretary gonna help us again, or is she just gonna stay there? Oh, I guess we got all the information we care to out of her. Right now that we have our mission control, and apparently we've gotten the assignments to do all manner of things. Let's see. Miami Herald, Anastasia Avenue, and Riley's Real Estate. Let's do these in from top to bottom, I guess. Here's the stingy landowner's house. I say why, because, well, let's see. Fairly consistent with the style of Coral Gables I've been able to observe so far. Because if I were this guy who lives in this house, I wouldn't want Mr. Protagonist to come and bother me. One expensive looking wood, I guess.
Yes? May I help you?
Oh boy. Yeah, man.
Good day to you, sir. My name is Alfred Banks, and...
Whatever it is you're selling, I'm not interested.
But I'm not here to sell you anything. In fact, quite the contrary.
Oh, I see. Merrick sent you, didn't he?
Well, yes, he did.
Look, you can go back and tell him exactly what I told all the others. Nothing doing. I bought this land before he got his little vision, and I intend to keep it. I tried appeasing him by building my house to match his Mediterranean style, but apparently even that wasn't good enough. I did everything by the book and filed all the proper paperwork. You tell Merrick he'll get me off this land when I'm no longer drawing breath. Good day to you, sir.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if I were in his position, I'd probably say the same thing.
You again? What do you want?
I don't know.
Sir, I really just want to have a chat.
I know your game. You vipers are just trying to trick me, and before I know it, you'll be flim-flamming me into signing some paper handing over my land. Well, you can just forget it. I've worked too hard on this house to just let it go. The paperwork alone was a nightmare and a half. Nothing you can say will convince me to sell my land. Nothing. Good day to you, sir.
I don't really have the option to try anything right now, do we? We have the fake plans just here. Have the photograph of our late father, we have the note. Remember bits. And we have the money, I don't know. Which I'm not quite sure how we, like, unselect an item after we select it. Maybe we just with right mouse. So if we try that again, we'll get a repeat, or do we get something new?
Sir, I
know you vipers. Well, I've the paper. Nothing
okay,
you could date.
This guy doesn't want to. What if we try to bribe him, getting money to convince him to give us that? I don't know.
You again?
I don't know how I phrased that just now. I think I'm a little more tired than I let on, but I don't think he would care for money. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to one thing at a time. Here, have my note. I would not care for that, apparently. Hey, hold on. Fucking tiny window. That's a problem. Have some fake plans, right? No, I'm thinking that we're gonna need to, like, bring him some item to...
I apologize for disturbing you. I'll just be on my way.
to get him to react, but we can't actually do it right now. Maybe we go to the Miami Herald first, then. Get us some publicity.
Got going on in here.
Hello, sir. Let me know if I can help you with anything.
Hello, sir. Did you just walk in here off the street? Air of dignity and grace, typing up a story. Always some lead writers for their ability to just keep producing content. Well, I mean, depends on the writer. I should know. Going over some layouts on the table at the back of the room. An empty chair. Because we don't care about that stuff. House notes. Windows which we can't examine. The clock which we can't examine. Frame newspaper. Just to be about the day the Great War ended. Thank goodness that'll never happen again. No. Leads into the office of the editor-in-chief. Can we pester them? No, apparently we have no business with them. Or the people who are actually writing. Oh, we only have one option here,
May
it
I have a
seems.
moment?
You may.
I'm Alfred Banks, and I believe you have the advantage.
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas.
Pleasure. What is it you do around here, Miss Douglas?
I write articles, conduct interviews, and investigate stories. I'm what's commonly referred to in this business as a reporter.
I suppose that was a bit of a silly question on my part.
Well, at least you can admit to it. That puts you ahead of most.
I'm pretty sure I've heard that name before, but I can't for the life of me remember the context of it. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas was an American journalist, author, women's suffrage advocate, and conservationist known for her staunch defense of the Everglades against efforts to drain it and claim land for development. Boy. Apparently she wrote some books on that. Compared to that of Rachel Carson's influential book Silent Spring, which I have a faint remembrance of also having heard about. Accused the chemical industry of spreading disinformation and public officials of accepting the industry's marketing claims unquestioningly. Well, so hippies, basically. Relentless reporter and a fearless crusader for the natural preservation and restoration of South Florida. So technically, we're her enemy right now, I guess. Let's see. Let's talk about land development. I'm sure that'll make her happy.
Have you reported anything on George Merrick's Coral Gables project?
Don't know that I'd have to. He spent a small fortune on advertising. I doubt there's a single person in town who hasn't heard of it by now.
That may not exactly be the case. Mr. Merrick asked me to come here and inquire about possibly getting someone to do a bit of publicity for him.
Ah, suddenly it all becomes clear. Let's get something straight right now. I'm not some dumb Dora at anyone's beck and call. If Merrick wants a reporter in his pocket, it'll have to be someone else. I'm far too busy to find myself on the leash of some land developer and his cronies.
It's hard then. Guess we better drop it.
Do you enjoy your work here?
I do, although to be completely frank, it's gotten a bit tedious. Granted, what I'm doing now is much better than what I did when I started, that being the society column. Back then, things were so slow I made up half my stories.
It certainly seems like there's a lot going on in town these days.
I won't argue with you on that point, but we'll see what the future brings. Maybe I'll take a crack at going out on my own. We've managed to get the vote. I see no reason why a woman can't make a name for herself as a freelance writer.
Anything you can tell me about Miami?
When I first got here, this was no more than a glorified railroad terminal. There were less than 5,000 people and the streets were made of white dust. Now we've got hundreds, if not thousands, of new faces showing up every day and are constantly expanding. I bet it won't be long before some other fool tries draining the Everglades to make more room.
Tell they're not really the Everglades, someone that does that. Now are they?
Now, let's not be so hasty. I'm sure Mr. Merrick isn't looking for a lapdog, just someone who can provide some help. Maybe we can reach some sort of agreement.
Now that you mention it, maybe we can. Okay, I'll help you out if you do me a favor first. There's a story I've been following, but I've hit a bit of a roadblock. Are you familiar with Jeremiah Miller?
Afraid not. Who is he?
He's a local politician, county commissioner in fact, very outspoken on the subject of prohibition. I have reason to believe, however, that he's full of hot air. Unfortunately, I've never been able to get close enough to him to see if my hunch is right.
So, where do I come in?
Miller enjoys spending his time at the Miami Men's Club on Brickell Avenue. I figure if he's going to indulge in any illicit pastimes, that would be his ideal spot. As I am of the fairer sex and therefore not allowed inside, I need someone I can trust to get in there and see if I'm right.
And you trust me?
Not particularly, but you're my best hope, and you need my help. So I figured you've got the best chance of actually getting this done.
So, if I catch Miller in the act, what then?
Bring me some sort of proof of his hypocrisy, be it a photograph or a signed confession. I'm not fussy.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see you around.
Count on it.
Alright, so we actually got another mission, I suppose. An actual task we can try for. But not anything that will, well, let's see, my Men's Club. I actually finish in there right now, so step away. So we have a couple of options left. Guess we're gonna go to Riley's real estate first. For the infiltration plot. Signed by an artist known as Bernardo C. I sure do wonder if that's a reference to anything. Identical green chairs offered up for people who to sit on while they wait to be seen by Riley. They are in fact identical, are they? And, okay. Wasn't quite clicking on the thing there. I also just got an achievement called Smooth Criminal. I wonder what that's about. Let's see. Really know how to cover your tracks. Oh boy, I might have broken that by just like coming in here and then leaving immediately. Get the feeling it might be related to whatever it is we have to do in here, but it just triggered by accident there. State of her fingernails. Byron B. Ship in the night. Art hasn't signed it, which you understand completely. Well, and there's O'Reilly. Right, let's
Pardon me, miss.
take a listen
What
here.
can I help you with, sir?
I have an interview scheduled with Mr. Riley today.
I see. And your name is?
Alfred Banks.
Just a minute.
Could use my real name, I'm sure that won't backfire.
Were you going to let him know I'm here?
Huh? Oh, right. Hey, Mr. Riley, you got someone here to see you.
I think I could have done that myself.
Go ahead and go through the door there.
Of course. Thank you.
Right, that went well.
Pardon me, miss.
What can I help you with, sir?
Well, we can also talk about herself.
You seem very relaxed.
Do I? Well, I'll have you know I'm anything but. Why, just this afternoon I have an appointment with my pedicurist. Then first thing tomorrow morning it's off to the day spa, and then I have to go to the hair salon.
I get the point, miss. I really sympathize with your plight.
Oh, well, ain't you a sweetheart?
I appreciate the help.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's go through this door. And see exactly what it is we're gonna be doing in here. Painting of a young woman in flapper attire. Seems to be the same woman in the other painting. I'm not examining it too closely while Riley is here, apparently. Maybe all the real estate moguls shop at the same art store. And a fancy glove cabinets, knickknacks and tchotchkes, whatever those are. And there he is. Used to be in his late 60s. Using impression of a man who still has all his wits about him. Right, well.
Hello, Mr. Riley. My name is Alfred Banks, and I'm here for a job interview.
Ah, yes, of course. My secretary informed me you'd be coming in. I'm afraid I'm in a bit of a hurry today, however. I have a very important appointment I must depart for in about 15 minutes.
Then I suppose we should get this over with as soon as possible.
Yes, of course. Well, let's begin. Why don't we start off by you telling me a bit about yourself?
Be modest, be truthful, or be boastful? Wouldn't we be, I don't know. For the purposes of this operation, I guess we could be boastful.
I'm actually surprised you don't recognize my name. Plenty of people knew my father, Hiram Banks. I've been working at the family company the past few years, but decided to come down here and shine on my own.
You don't say. What made you get into real estate?
For the matter, you want to help people about your father. Well, I mean, after introducing with that story about, hey, my father was a big deal, then maybe I should stay a little consistent.
I wanted to follow in the footsteps of my father.
Honoring the family business. I greatly respect that. In a way, I'm a bit envious. I don't have any sons, so my business will eventually go to someone else. But I still value family. It's really the most important part of my life. But listen to me babbling. Let's get back to the interview. Now, what do you think you can bring to this company?
Well, sales record is amazing, which, I don't know, based on what little we heard of her, or we learned of her backstory in the business during that prologue scene. I don't know if any of these are particularly good options, but maybe. See, this one seems like the most sensible one based on what we've learned, but it also doesn't seem like it'd be very impressive. I don't know about helping expand the company, how true or meritorious that would be. Well, let me see.
I have business know-how and can help expand your company. My father was a partner at the firm I used to work at, and I learned quite a bit from him.
Well, Banks, I must say, you seem to be a very promising candidate. I'll have my secretary contact you in a few days. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must run. I have to meet my daughter for dinner, and I don't want to be late. A word of advice, Banks. As great as this business will make you feel, you are nobody if you haven't got someone who loves you. My daughter, for instance, means the world to me. I always want her to be around, which is why I've got these paintings of her in my office. But I digress. Let me show you back out.
I guess now we know who that is.
Good day to you, Banks. Caroline, hold my calls.
Okay. Can we sneak back in? Nope, might get suspicious if we just wander back in there. So maybe we can
What can I help you with, sir?
try to convince her we sure are not gonna be suspicious if we somehow go in there and attend.
I'm afraid I need to get back into Mr. Riley's office.
Oh? Why is that?
I left something behind in there during my interview.
Oh, I see. Go ahead and get it. I never lock the door when Mr. Riley is out anyway.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate the help.
Mm-hmm.
Well, gee, that was easy. So I'm guessing that whatever we're looking for is either gonna be like hidden or in the cabinet. Nothing in the cabinet that interests us. And now we can take a closer look at this painting here. At least they're in a low-cut beige dress, clearly trying to pull off the flapper look. But she needs a bit of work. Well, I don't know. B16, 1913. A Sokolov Hope. So we got a few references in here. We got a fucking Dishonored reference. I think that one of the names that we heard during the intro scene was like something Countess, which might be a reference to the Blackwell games, which I'm pretty sure this is also kind of a One Jedi thing. But I don't want to ruin the painting by touching it. And we got the, fucking Dishonored joke with the signature, but... But I don't really see the point of, coming in here if we can't really interact with anything or search. I mean, we can take a closer look at this painting, but apparently we can't actually. Like, I don't know, maybe May 16, maybe we're supposed to remember that, like some kind of code. It doesn't really look like there's any part of the painting which we can actually move or that is different. Like there would be something hidden behind it or something you would imagine, but no, apparently that's not quite it. It's just there. Or maybe it was just behind the other one. Alright, never mind. Okay. How's this work? 2. What? 3. 4. 5. 6. No, that doesn't quite work. Right, but I'm guessing now that we have discovered the safe by complete accident, it'll actually be related to this. May 16, 1913. Let's see. If I had to guess some format to input that date into this with the incorrect format, which would be like month and date and year. No? Maybe 0. May 13, that's what that said, right? Hold on. No, May 16. Never mind. I am terrible at interpreting that. Let's see. May 16. Oh, okay. It's just a day. Merrick's plan and quickly replace them with your fake ones. Right, oh, that was easy. And there you go. Put the painting back as it was. And now we have the real plans, I guess. Some kind of luxury hotel. Hey, I did it.
Pardon me, miss. I appreciate...
Right, there we go. I guess we're done here. We completed one of our missions. Even though the other ones aren't really, are still in progress, I suppose. Let's go to Miami Men's Club next and see if we can catch the other guy. Man in a safari outfit, standing triumphantly on a dead tiger. Smoking a cigar and looks particularly arrogant. Hopefully this doesn't represent the typical members of this club. Well, I don't know.
Begging your pardon, sir, but where exactly do you think you're going? Only members of this club are allowed in there, and I don't believe that you are one.
Well, I don't know. Step away without saying anything. Heading to archery to golf. Another room, and the clerk. Suits an air of extreme superiority and probably considers his job more important than that of even President Harding. Alright. President Harding.
Begging your pardon, my good man.
Yes?
Is that an actual name of a president that I'm just not coming up with? Warren G. Harding was the 29th president from March 1921 until 23. Okay, there you go. So let's learn about this place now.
This seems a rather exclusive establishment.
Yes, sir, it is. Did you need something in particular, or did you prefer to stand around all day discussing the obvious?
Oh gee. Please sell me on this place a little more.
Let's say, hypothetically speaking, that someone wanted to join your club. How would one go about doing so?
It's a rather simple three-step process. 1, you have to be a man. I believe you've already met that requirement. 2, you must prove your pedigree. We don't just allow anyone in off the street. Finally, you need to have a respected member of the community vouch for you. Once you've done that, it's a simple matter of waiting to be contacted for approval.
That seems awfully, elitist, but...
I didn't catch your name.
That's because I didn't pitch it. You can call me Morris if you need anything. Of course, how much I'll actually be able to serve you remains to be seen.
Morris? Any relation to Evan Morris from New York?
I don't think so, no.
Oh, well, I guess that helps my chances of getting into this club, at least.
Well. And Jeremiah Miller.
Are you familiar with a gentleman by the name of Jeremiah Miller?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Come on, I know for a fact that he's a member of this club.
Then why did you ask me?
Because I want to know what you know about him.
As I said, I'm not at liberty to discuss members of this club with non-members. I'm sure you understand.
Oh, surely.
I'm afraid I must be going.
Good day to you, sir.
Alright, club lounge trophy cabinet. We can't go through this door, surely. Now the door's locked. So we need to... If we need to join the club, we need to... prove our pedigree and have somebody vouch for us. I don't know. Does he care about this?
Take a look at this photo. Notice anything in particular?
It looks like you, with a mustache. If I may be frank, I'm glad you shaved it off. It doesn't really suit you.
That's my father, Hiram Banks. He was one of the top real estate moguls in the Northeast. Surely that demonstrates I have some sort of pedigree.
Ah, of course. While I have to admit I've never heard of the man, we have several members who surely have, being in that field. Very good. The club will take this into consideration when evaluating your membership application.
So where are we gonna get to actually vouch for us, though? I guess that's the other thing that we're missing. Wasn't sure if I was expecting the photograph thing to actually work. But yeah, I'm guessing that whatever else is left won't actually be attainable from that room. Who knows? Hey, can you help?
May I have a moment?
You may.
I'll see you around.
Count on it.
Okay. Or there, right. How do we go back to Flagler Street? Maybe we'll be able to get some extra help from the records room. I don't know, maybe this place will be of use. Actually, before I check in here, let me see if I can go back over to the real estate office. Just to see if I can, like, hand in the plans that I've got. Or if that's not gonna be possible right now. Oh, this guy's here.
Come in.
Hello, Mr. Merrick.
Thanks. A pleasure to see you. Please, have a seat.
Okay, do just that. Hey, we finished one of the 3 missions that you laid out for me. Joining men's club. Oh, maybe he can help.
I was wondering if I could ask a favor of you.
What might that be?
I'm trying to join the Miami Men's Club, and I need someone to vouch for me.
A society climber on your first day in town?
It's not quite like that.
I understand. Sometimes this business makes us do things we weren't expecting.
You're telling me.
Very well. Give me 1 moment and I'll have Miss Rogers type up a letter for you.
Really? Alright. Did have an actual formal written recommendation. Hey, this guy sure is great.
She's typing it up for you right now.
Thank you, Mr. Merrick.
My pleasure.
Right, there we are. Hey, I got the plans.
Very impressive work, Banks. Did you get the job, too?
Dang it.
I'm not quite sure about that, sir.
Well, for the time being, let's hope you didn't. I don't want Riley stealing anything else from me.
Right, there
I'll
we go.
just get to it then.
I wish you the best of luck.
Right, so we have a recommendation, I'm guessing, from him. Which means we should probably be able to...
Here you are, Mr. Banks.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rogers.
Did we get the thing? Yeah, there we go. Voucher. Written you a glowing recommendation for entry into the Miami Men's Club, which I guess the actual magnet guy was actually in. We're kind of forced to assume at that point. So let's see what the guy has to say about us now. Hey, check it out.
Have a look at this. It's a letter from George Merrick sponsoring my entry into your club.
Merrick, eh? Well, he is a fairly prestigious member of the community. Very good. The club will take this into consideration when evaluating your membership application. Well, you seem to have provided sufficient information to be considered for membership into this club. Now it's just a matter of your evaluation.
How long will that take?
Oh, it all depends. Likely a week or 2. We'll contact you when the decision has been made.
I'm not sure I can wait that long.
In that case, there may be ways of expediting the process.
She knows, is she? Such as...
Begging your pardon, my good man.
Yes?
Any word on my club membership?
The application is still being considered. Unless, of course, the process were sped up.
I'm afraid I must be going.
Good day to you.
Guess he was actually trying to hint at me in a different way. Right, what if I give you my indefinite amount of money?
Say, friend, you've really been a great help today. I'd like to give you a little something for your trouble.
Why, thank you, Mr. Banks. Ah, well, what do you know? It seems the results of your evaluation are in, and you've passed with flying colors. Welcome to the Miami Men's Club. Please feel free to use any of the club's amenities at your leisure. And of course, if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know.
Alrighty then. Club Lounge. Maybe now we can actually look for the... Oh boy.
Well, look at this, boys. It seems we've got a new member.
Seem to be rather uncomfortable with the presence of the man who just spoke.
Come on in, my boy. There's no need to be shy. What's your name, and where are you coming from?
Alfred Banks from New York. Just relocated to Miami this morning.
I must say, you work fast, Banks. Just arrived and already a member of one of the best men's clubs in town. You must really be the cat's pajamas.
Well,
But where are my manners? I'm Jeremiah Miller, County Commissioner, District 2.
Pleasure.
I welcome you not only to the club, but to our fair city as well.
Thank you, sir.
Feel free to make yourself at home and get to know the others. If you have any questions about the city or anything else, I'll be happy to help.
Ooh, right. Well, we found the Mucker by Edgar Rice Burroughs. Did conveniently find the exact guy we were looking for as soon as we came in. Surveys room like a hawk, almost as though he'd been hired to be some sort of law enforcer. Well, what about the rest of these people, though, old man? A full conversation about Sacco and Vanzetti with a younger man sitting on the stool. An older man. Leaning against the counter, he doesn't seem to move much or pay attention to his surroundings.
Mr. Miller?
What else does this guy have to say? With his fucking weird face.
So, you're a county commissioner.
Indeed, I am.
What does that entail exactly?
Well, I won't bore you with the particulars, but basically I'm one of several elected officials who run the county. It's not a bad jumping point if you, like me, are interested in furthering your political career. Your best bet is to find a platform and rally up supporters. After that, climbing the ladder is duck soup.
Oh, my game is real estate, not politics.
You mean there's a difference? We're both out to screw the next chump over. Why, our fields are practically brothers.
Isn't that a bit cynical, sir?
Oh, it's a necessary quality in this business, my friend. Now, don't dismiss my idea so easily, Banks. You've got the makings of a politician in you. I wouldn't be surprised to see you in office somewhere within the next few years.
Right. Guess you gotta come out and have that kind of demeanor to the guy he just met. Prohibition.
I've heard you've got a particularly strong stance on the subject of prohibition.
You heard correctly, Banks. I have a strict no-tolerance policy. Oh, don't get me wrong. What a man does in his home is his business. But people going out on the town and getting smoked, it's unacceptable.
Just a minute. Are you saying you're fine with a man drinking in his own home?
Well, come now, old sport. Don't be naive. Every man enjoys a little nip now and then. Prohibition is designed for the masses, not the individuals. Keep the drink at home, I say. If it's on the streets and in bars, that's where the problem lies, and that's where we have to enforce. Just look at this place. I've made sure we're as dry as a bone in here, and nobody is the worse for it.
Election? Oh boy. Oh, never mind. But now apparently this guy's influence might not be appreciated by the other people here. Miami.
Have you lived here long?
About 20 years, in fact. This city has grown considerably since then, and I'm proud to be involved in its government.
Okay. That was fairly brief, awfully brief.
Know anything about the other club members? They seem a bit cold.
Nah, don't let them get to you. They're just a bit shy around new members. Soon enough, they'll warm up to you, and they'll be like your second family. In any case, the bookworm over there is Carlton Meeks. From what I understand, he's in the real estate game. The two gents over there are John Norris Sr. and Jr. Not a day goes by, they aren't in here having some sort of squabble. And finally, the esteemed gentleman leaning on the counter is Franklin Evans. Don't think I've seen his face in years. He tends to keep to himself, you see. They're not the liveliest bunch, but they'll grow on you.
Nice chatting with you.
Likewise.
Alright, well, that was a fruitful conversation, I guess, even though it didn't really further our purposes, did it? Maybe the other people want to talk. Okay. Relatable. Really well conversation, it would be best not to interrupt. But what about this guy? It's just kind of a...
Pardon me, sir, but...
There's a corner there, taken aback by the incredibly strong scent of alcohol emanating from the man. He's been sneaking his liquor from somewhere for some time. He's rather ossified. You doubt he can even tell you're speaking to him, right? Can have that in there. Hey, check out these trunks during the time of Prohibition. That's how you know.
Mr. Miller?
What can I help you with, Banks?
Oh boy. I guess we're doing this now.
Mr. Miller, this may be none of my business, but I was just trying to talk to the fellow over there by the counter, and, well, he's got a very strong scent of alcohol on him. I felt a bit woozy just standing next to him.
You don't say. I suppose that would explain quite a bit. This won't do. No, sir, not at all. Excuse me a moment, won't you, Banks? Evans, are you drunk? Evans, answer me. Good Lord, how much have you had? You're a hazard. What if I wanted to light a cigarette? You're a disgrace to the good name of this club.
Oh shit, well. Did just witness that, I suppose. A flask, goodness. Alrighty, well. I'm just gonna pocket that real quick. In full view of everybody, but very, very stealthily still. Nobody seems too bothered by this fact. No state converse right now. Maybe we just slip out. Oh, what about the flask? Does it have his... Oh boy, he's engraved with... the thing. His initials, which seems like an awfully convenient setup for... what we need, but hey, who am I to complain? Let's see. Hey, look what I brought you.
May I have a moment?
You may.
I'll see you around.
Count on it.
Except I guess I gotta give it to you directly from the menu like
Have
this.
a look at this. It's Jeremiah Miller's engraved flask.
So my hunch was right after all. Nice work, Banks. It's a bit of a tenuous link, but it's probably the best we'll be able to do at this point. Well, a deal's a deal. You can go ahead and tell Merrick I'll write for him.
I appreciate your help, Miss Douglas.
Right, another fruitful endeavor completed. So let's see. Apparently all we've got left to do is to convince this guy to sell his stuff, but I really don't know if we're gonna be able to do that just with photograph and note in our inventory. Trying to think at the hotel can do, maybe. Anything that
excuse me.
may have come
May I
in
help
that we
you,
haven't
sir?
already looked
Thank
at.
you for your assistance.
Happy to help.
Maybe. Maybe the hat. I'm gonna reclaim my hat from the hat stand and go back out there. Perhaps then the thing I desire will be doable. Let's go ahead next to the map and that we are armed with a hat on our head. Maybe we can go to Anastasia Avenue and maybe, just maybe, actually get this guy to sell.
You again? What do you want?
Oh, I don't know. What if I show you the picture of my father? No, you would not care for that, so it seems.
Sir, I really just want to have a chat.
I know your game. You vipers are just trying to trick me, and before I know it, you'll be flim-flamming me into signing some paper handing over my land. Well, you can just forget it. I've worked too hard on the paperwork. Nothing you can say. Good day to you.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like we can do anything here, which is a little alarming, conflicting. But unfortunately, I don't really know what we could do to change that. The door, and we got the rest of the house, and then the exit. There's apparently not a lot of things we could interact with here. And we lost all of our money, I guess, doing the bribe. picture, we got the sales hint thingy, but doesn't really help, does it? Doesn't really seem like it'll help me. With anything. Starting this puzzle. Hold on. I might actually have to cut this shortly. As it turns out, it's barely gonna be 9, which is like nothing. And I should be, in theory, able to stay awake for at least another 5 hours, ideally, but apparently my brain doesn't think so quite yet. So I'm basically way more exhausted right now than I should be. Well, let's see if I can at least
Come in.
resolve this
Hello,
final...
Mr. Merrick.
Thanks. A pleasure to see you.
This last of the 3 tasks that we
Please,
got
listen.
here. Right, so if you bring your hat in here, you do leave it on the hat rack. Holdout, still don't know exactly what we can do about this guy.
What's the story with the holdout?
There's a stretch of land which is of great interest to me in the area of Anastasia Avenue. Currently, the land is owned by an individual who has no interest in selling it. He's built himself a home there and understandably wants to keep it. Unfortunately, business is business, and I need that land to complete a very important project. I need you to convince the gentleman to sell.
Yeah, but how do we convince him to sell if he's just like, nope, fuck you, and I'm not even gonna let you have any dialogue options? You're gonna have to like bring an item, I guess, but
I'll just get to it then.
I wish you the best of luck.
no real idea what the item would even be. Brochures and pamphlets advertising real estate around the city. Let's just leave. Just gonna leave our hat. Wait, what? Okay, apparently we just teleported our hat from the hat rack up over to our hand, even though it was like on the other side of the room. That was exciting. It doesn't really look like I can get any more items, so I don't know. I actually have to cut this short sooner than expected, because I don't really know exactly what it is that I'm expected to do for this puzzle. And we don't really have any more options for where to go now, do we? It's like we exhausted everything else with...
You again? What do you want?
removed all other options from... of further travel on the map after we completed the other tasks, but I don't really know exactly what it is I want to do with this guy. Note to man, no? Can't break the ice, introduce ourselves, tell a story, and then make the sale.
Sir, I really just want to have a chat.
I know you've... well, you can just... I've worked the pay... Good day.
Oh, it's a little too aggressive.
Sir,
you've... well, you can just... I've worked the pay... Good...
What if I tried to just do that 3 times in a row, because that's like...
Sir,
that'll clearly make a dent in this guy's willpower, or not. And I don't really know. I don't really see anything else either that I can interact with here other than just the exit and the door, which, on the house, you know, but can't really do anything with the house itself or find any other, like, points where the cursor actually picks up anything. Hotspots, maybe. So, I don't know. It might be time for me to actually cut this short a little earlier than expected. Because I get the feeling that my speech way of thinking is, yeah, sure, alarming, conflicting, replace. It's not gonna be proved at all by this, so. Even though we're still a little far away from, well, not far away, but a little bit away from the shoot. From the 2 hours mark, I guess this is basically it for now. Since, I don't know, my brain doesn't really want me to be doing anything right now, so probably gonna have to search for a different way of convincing it that, hey, idiot, don't fall asleep yet. But no, right now, I believe that'll basically be the thing. The Chrimbus. And the sudden return. And also closing windows in the background that I was not aware I had open. And which I don't really need right now. Yeah, I was still kind of confused as to why I got that other achievement at the plan replacement thing. Because that, I'm pretty much convinced that that was an accident. It wasn't supposed to trigger at that moment, but it did anyway, so that's cool. But yeah, that was my very brief Chrimbus stream, aka doing a very, very late birthday stream, because my birthday wasn't a week ago. It was a week ago, it wasn't recently though. Depending on how recent a week qualifies. It's a week. It's not at the present time, I guess is the point, but that was a thing, and I should probably just wrap this up because I'm just saying stuff that doesn't really make sense at this point, so yeah, time to just switch to the scripted thing. Which I just blurred out at the end of every stream, so we'll take it easy. Thank you everybody for coming like always. Thanks for chatting, it's great whenever people chat, and I will probably see you sooner than not, considering that I'm gonna be off for like the next couple of weeks. Still. And there's a couple of things I want to get done. Not the least of which is the Resident Evil stuff that I have on hold. So I'll be doing that soon. Maybe I'll even do something tomorrow at an earlier time, so I'm not just losing my mind on stream. But independently of when that is, which will be soon, I will see you later.